First grade, it's now time for social studies, which means you're almost done with virtual learning today. And we're in social studies today. We're going to be talking about whales, which I think are a really cool animal. And we're going to be talking about habitats like we have been all week. We're going to be talking about comparing and contrasting later on, not with this lesson. And we're going to be asking and answering questions and talking all about text features. So here we go. Zoobooks, whales. So I see right here, there's the title, Whales. And Zoobooks, that's the magazine company. I used to get these delivered to my house when I was your age, and you can still do that if you're ever interested. So right here, we have a caption, which describes a picture, which says, "How smart are whales?" on page 14. That makes me wonder how intelligent whales are. Well, I know they're not as smart as people because I've never seen a whale in any of my college classes. But I'm thinking they must be pretty smart if their intelligence is mentioned on the cover of this magazine. A battle in the depths? Battle? Well, that makes me think about a fight. Depths means deep. Are the whales going to be fighting in the ocean? I don't know. I guess we'll have to read to find out. I see all these fun little pictures on the side of different animals. I see different animal habitats. Like up here I see, what is this? Is that the Arctic? Looks like there's some snow. And down here we move to like the forest. You can't see Kenya. Then I see over here a lion, so like some jungle action. This looks like the rainforest. Oh, and this is the ocean, which we'll be talking about today. All right, so here's our picture right here. Ooh, it looks like Free Willy. That is a movie from the 90s, in case you didn't know. So whales live in the ocean like fish. They swim around and they hunt in the ocean like fish. Oh, I'm hearing lots of comparing to fishes here. They even look something like fish, but whales are not fish. What? But they look like fish. Oh, let's read on. I'm confused because they look like fish and they said they have all these things that are just like fish, but now it's saying they're not like fish. They are mammals, the same as we are. They think that's a mammal? That is in the ocean. Okay, let's read on. Let's see what it says. See if it can convince me. A mammal, oh, bold word. When you see a bold word, that means it's important. Might be in the glossary, which is in the back of the book, if there is a glossary. There's no glossary in this. But if there was a glossary, it probably would be in the back. So a mammal is an animal that has lungs and breathes air. It is warm-blooded with a body temperature that is more or less the same all the time. The babies of mammals are born alive instead of hatched from eggs. The exceptions for this rule are the primitive echidna and the platypus, which are mammals that hatch from leathery eggs. I've never heard of that animal before, so I apologize if I said it wrong. Echidna. I'm going to have to look that up later. All mammal babies take milk from their mothers. Whales are sea mammals. That means they're mammals that live in the sea. All whales, dolphins, and porpoises are known as cetaceans. Because they belong to a large group called the Cetacea. Cetaceans are divided into the toothed whales and the baleen whales. Instead of teeth, baleen whales have brushes. Brushes instead of teeth? The toothed whales are divided into 6 separate families: killer whales, pilot whales, and dolphins. So basically all the toothed whales belong to one of those families. The baleen whales are divided into 3 families. In both the toothed whale and the baleen whales, males are called bulls and females are called cows. And a young whale is called a calf. Oh, I'm comparing that to an animal I already know about. Do you know which animal I'm thinking of? Cows! Because the boy cows are called bulls and the babies are also called calves. And remember we talked about buffalo also does that too? All right, continuing on. Baleen whales can be very big. The largest of them, the blue whale, can reach 100 feet or more. So I'm about 5 feet tall, a little bit taller. So that means, oh my goodness, that'd be 20 Mrs. Clarks laying down to make a blue whale. There are baleen whales that are much smaller. Some never grow any longer than 20 feet. So that's 4 Mrs. Clarks. Smaller than a newborn blue whale. It's not the size that determines which whale belongs to this group. It's the way they catch their food. All baleen whales filter or strain tiny plants and animals from seawater. Sometimes they may catch small fish, but they mostly filter the small organisms known as plankton. In certain parts of the ocean, billions of tiny plankton float near the water's surface, and baleen whales go there to feed. So I'm thinking of plankton are really small, and I know that because of SpongeBob. So I'm thinking they're really small, and I'm wondering how such a small animal would be able to feed such a large animal. So that's a question I have. I don't know if you were thinking that too. So looking at some of these pictures, I see this isn't called an illustration. Somebody drew this, because sometimes we draw in nonfiction books also to show what the whale would look like. So here they're showing what the whale would look like without skin. Here they're showing what it would look like without muscles. This is the skeleton. This is the muscles. You can see here there's different captions. And I will have this book in the classroom if you want to hear some more. Oh, and here's a picture of the plankton right here. This is real life plankton. The largest of the plankton is called krill. Krill may grow to be 2 inches long. See, I told you plankton were tiny. I'm surprised. Oh, a large blue whale can eat more than 8,000. This is why they're so big. They can eat more than 8,000 pounds of food a day. Every time it swallows, more than 100 pounds of food can go down its enormous throat. Something else I'm noticing from the pictures, I see that the whale flipper, it kind of does look like a human hand. So I'm kind of comparing that to us. So my hand kind of looks like a whale flipper if you took off the muscle. Except they only have 4 finger-like things and we have 5. Oh, here's a really nice picture right here. That's a great photograph. When something's not drawn and it's taken with a camera, it's called a photograph. Up here, the caption that describes the picture. The longest flippers of any cetacean belong to the humpback whale. This whale reaches a maximum length of 62 feet. They can weigh as much as 80,000 pounds. They are known for their songs. So here's another whale. This one looks kind of like a dolphin to me. And I'm seeing up here that they're comparing them to a dolphin up here. Toothed whales are much smaller as a rule than baleen whales. So baleen whales are the ones with brushes for mouths. And now toothed whales have teeth. The largest of the toothed whale is the sperm whale, and it can grow to a length of about 60 feet. And the killer whale, that was Free Willy from before. That's the killer whale. He can reach 32 feet. Most toothed whales are between 10 and 20 feet long. The smallest of the toothed whales measures only 4 feet. The difference in size between the whales may have to do with the ways they get their food. Baleen whales don't have to be fast to feed themselves. They just cruise around gathering up plankton. But toothed whales, they have to chase their prey. And their excessive size, if they were an excessive size, it would slow them down. Most toothed whales are excellent hunters. Groups of killer whales have been known to attack polar bears and blue whales. Okay, so I'm thinking one whale is called a killer whale, and I wonder if that's because it's a predator. So it eats different animals such as polar bears and blue whales. And then there were some more pictures with captions. This is the bottom of the whale. The bodies of the toothed whales are usually darker on top and lighter underneath. This is called counter shading and makes the whales harder to see in the water. So they are camouflaging from their prey. I wonder why they would want to camouflage. Probably so their prey would be unable to see them and it'd be easier to catch. Here's another photograph. This toothed whale gets its name from its long beak, which looks something like the neck of a bottle. It reaches a length of 13 feet and a weight of 1,450 pounds. It eats fish, shrimp, and eels. This is called a bottlenose dolphin. Wait, are dolphins whales? Is that what it's saying? Oh, Mrs. Clark is learning a lot today, just like you. All right. All whales dive beneath the surface of the water, but to varying depths and for different periods of time. To prepare for diving, they take several deep breaths. This clears their lungs and builds up an extra store of extra oxygen in their blood. Whales also store extra oxygen in their muscles. That makes me think about us, because we breathe from lungs also. Whereas fish, they breathe from gills, like these little slits in their neck. So that is a way that we are contrasting. Toothed whales can see with their ears. Ooh, I can't do that. That's a contrast right there. If you've ever tried to open your eyes in the ocean, you know why whales really can't depend on their eyes to find their way around. Even in clear water, you can't see much farther than 200 feet. The deeper you go beneath the surface, the less light there is. At a depth of 1,300 feet, the ocean is pitch black. Luckily for those whales that must hunt their food, water carries sound better than it carries light. Sound travels more than 4 times faster in water than it does in the air, and it travels farther. Some whales have been able to take advantage of this, and they can see with the sound. This process is called echolocation. The whales that use echolocation navigate and find food much further underwater than you can see in the air. So here it's showing a diagram of how the whale can hear the sound. So number 1, the whale sends out a sharp clicking sound. Some distance away, the click hits a school of fish and bounces back like a ball bouncing off a wall. The echo of the click starts traveling back to the whale. The sound comes back to the whale. If it takes a long time for the click to go out and come back, the whale knows the fish are far away. If it takes a short time, the whale knows the fish are close. Oh, so yes. Oh, are whales intelligent? This was the beginning. Remember the cover? Are whales intelligent? Some scientists feel that some type of whales may be as intelligent as people. What? Let's keep on. Let's keep on here. They think this whale is as intelligent as a person? Okay. We need proof here. Some believe that whales may be more intelligent than people. A lot of facts have been collected about whale intelligence, but it's hard to decide what the facts really mean. For example, some whales have very large brain. The sperm whale has the largest brain of any animal that has ever lived. But does size tell us how good a brain is? Among humans, Albert Einstein, he probably had the best brain of all. But his brain wasn't the largest brain. So maybe size doesn't matter. Can the structure of the brain tell us anything about a brain's ability? The front part of the brain has to do with thinking. Some dolphins have many more brain cells in the area than humans do. We don't know whether they use them for thinking or for something we can't even imagine. So how intelligent are whales? Their lives are so different from ours, and they need a different kind of intelligence than we do. That's true, because I'm not living underwater, and they're not living in land, so they probably need and think different things than we do. Scientists have recently developed an underwater touchscreen computer for dolphins at the National Aquarium in Baltimore. They hope it will someday help dolphins and humans to communicate. That would be so cool. Be like, hey dolphin, how's your day? And they'd be like, it's great since I've hung out with you. If humans ever do learn to talk with whales, we may find that whales are neither more or less intelligent than we are. They are simply fully adapted to a life that is different than ours. Last page, you're doing amazing. Thank you for staying with me. I'm really proud of you. Many types of whales are close to extinction. That means extinction means die off, including the blue whale and other large whales. For hundreds of years, people have hunted whales for their meat and oil. Endangered whales are protected by the Marine Mammal Protection Act in the United States. Many countries ignore the laws designed to save the whales. Today, there are better sources for oil and meat that don't require the killing of whales. So many organizations work hard to protect these whales, and some of them are listed here. And we got the American Zoo and Aquarium Association, which is in Maryland, the American Cetacean Society, National Wildlife Federation, World Wildlife Fund, and a bunch of others. I hope you enjoyed learning about whales, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching.